Hey there, everybody. We are going to be getting to this month's layout update shortly, but in the meantime, or before we get to that, we are going to go do some one-on-one train stuff. So Jesse and I are heading up to Tilton. We got to go switch out 3M. Got to grab the clay cars from there and head to Concord, and then we'll get back to the layout. So let's go play with some trains. At least they got this water path shoveled out for us. Alright guys, we're gonna go do some work. Let's go move some cars, Jesse. Welcome back, everybody. So we're going to be doing the February update on the layout here, and first we'll start with some power that has recently shown up to the layout. Got a couple of the scale trains -9s and the new Athearn Genesis SD80 Mac. These are going to be assigned to the coal train that comes through on the Amoskeag Northern. The 80 Mac is one of the original Conrail lettered ones. I got that one instead of the NS ones because based on the time frame of the layout, which is about between August and September of 2008, the 80 Macs were generally just patched. So I got some patches from Microscale, and we're going to get that on. Also, the Amoskeag Northern has picked up 3 SD35s, which will be the mainline, the largest mainline power that the Amoskeag Northern has. Those have to get stripped and then repainted, so those should be on the layout hopefully shortly. So starting here in the yard at Amoskeag, not really much has happened on the west end. As we go into staging, I still have to get the swing bridge built, and then we'll continue working on this area over here. This has kind of just been kind of a little bit of a staging area for mostly paint cans for now. So here's CP Toma. There'll be a crossover here as we go by Paint Can Central. And then we enter Amoskeag Yard, and on the north end of the yard, or the east end, depending on how you're looking at it, the track has been finished in here on both the main line and the yard tracks. And then here at CP Amoskeag, there's the switching lead for the yard. It heads behind the market basket, which you can see the shell of right now. And that's got to get a bunch of doors and loading docks installed and then get painted. That B&M signal bridge right there is going to go just behind Market Basket for the westward signals for CP Amoskeag. This will be where the loading docks are for Market Basket, which will be right over here. And then I've been working on the streets using this smart MDF. I had planned on originally using styrene or maybe even vinyl to do the roads in here. But while at Home Depot, I found that there's this smart MDF. It has a plastic coating on it. I guess you could use it for bathrooms and other areas where there might be moisture or the walls might get wet. So that works out pretty well. The sidewalks are from Rick's. They're part of their city detail set. And we'll be having the gas station. Granite Street crossing will be right here. Culvers, in case the layout is confused as to where it is. It's based in New Hampshire, but I have family out in Wisconsin, so we've got a Quick Trip and Culver's, which has awesome burgers. More paint cans, because Jesse comments that I keep paint cans everywhere, so the paint cans keep the layout from floating away. And then right here there'll be a electrical operated switch that's going to work into the industrial trackage. So the track will continue off to the left here and then go into a separate staging through the backdrop right over here. And then the other side goes into another off staging, or off layout staging, I should say, behind this mill over here. The industrial trackage comes around over by the station, and there's a separate switch, and then you can go over in there. And on the other side there is where the Guilford connection will be on their branch to come into Amoskeag Yard and pick up any cars that they have through the Amoskeag Northern. So coming into the station, this has been a work in progress that has taken up quite a bit of time recently. Mostly because it requires a whole bunch of different parts, because the elevated station is going to be up here, and it requires a head house and a stairwell that I'm 3D printing. So this is a failed print. For whatever reason, it came off the build plate, but I'm still just using it. It does help to work on the scale. And this will be up here, on top of the station. And then I'm working on the stairwell, which insets into the New England brownstone walls. This kind of just will sit flush with the walls inside. So that's the stairwell right there. It's a cinder block wall. I have to redo the CAD because I forgot to do some filling behind the mortar line. So that's where you see all this feathering right here, is because the mortar lines, I didn't bring the mortar up enough, so they started to pull away. So I just have to redraw that, and then that will end up printing fine. An old school Dairy Queen, and the little corner store that's going to be right here at the station scene as well. So this section of the AN used to be 4 tracks. You only have 2 tracks remaining for the main line. The industrial track takes up one of the other tracks. And then the closest one here to me is going to be basically just an access road at this point. The platform will continue down through it, so you'll have platforms as if it served all 4 tracks. But during the 60s and 70s, the station was pretty much reduced in size, and which leads us to this. This is where the McGinnis station, 60s center block station, is going to end up being. This is one of the SD35s that we picked up. Like I said, that's got to get stripped and painted. And as we come through the Mandrake Falls station, this is where a majority of the scenery work has been going on recently. So we have your typical ghetto garden style apartments. I'm assuming they're very, very cheap being so close to the tracks. And these will be the distance signals for CP Mandrake. So I just have an Atlas G signal sitting in here right now. I'm working with Matt. We might be doing some B&M style searchlight signals there. I haven't really decided at this point. That's probably most likely what they will be. But I may do the G-type signals as well to kind of give a look that maybe the signals were replaced at some point in time. The B&M signals were pulled out and replaced with the G signals when MBTA started running through the area, which would be kind of common on like the north side lines where a lot of the B&M intermediates and the home signals, the searchlight signals, were taken down and replaced with G-type heads. So the 4-track, or what used to be the 4-track, continues down here. The old station. You got Thai Warehouse in the back there. They can take 4 cars on the outside, and then there is a track that's going to be an inside of the building. They can take an additional 3 box cars in there. And they're a food distribution warehouse. They just take all sorts of foodstuffs in box cars. And this is the South Union Street Bridge. And that kind of marks where we go into the mill area of the layout, where the larger mills are, as we come up to CP Mandrake. CP Mandrake has the remnants of the old 4-track interlocking. An interlocking shed, the electronics. And then that cat right there is going to have a brush head mounted to it. The cat 315 seats. New England Right Away uses it, and they have a Canadian brush head that goes on it, and that's what they use to clear the right of way. So when we get our brush done over at New England Southern, that's what Matt shows up with from New England Right Away. And then nothing really more into staging on the other side. On the BB Falls branch, just a little bit of scenery over where the fire station is going to go. But this is just going to be kind of a major work in progress. I haven't really put the rest of it in at this point because I kind of want to leave this area of the layout open so that I can just work easily and not have to worry about it getting in the way. Because this peninsula is going to extend another 16, 17 feet down towards this end of the layout, and then there'll be a 5-foot gap between the end of the peninsula and the benchwork right there when you can walk around it. So that will probably be the last thing that I get up, just so it's out of the way. And that's all industrial track anyway. It really doesn't pertain to any of the main line running on the layout. It's a BDL 168 with an Aculights. Breakout boards. These are going to make things a lot easier than using the style that comes with it. Because they're all screw terminals, you don't have to do any soldering. Makes things a lot easier. When I had these on the N scale layout, one of the biggest pain in the butts was the power for each zone, because of the 4 zones that are on there, and you have to do the jumper wires in between them. The breakout board makes things a lot easier. So, well, things are moving along. I got all the wire feeders installed. Just need to cut all the gaps for the blocks. We'll get the BDL 168s wired up, and then the SE8Cs will drive the signals. We'll get those installed, and then start doing the logic through JMRI for the NORAC signaling. And back over towards CP Amoskeag. Got some more track on order to finish the main line, and then into the staging. That should be arriving later this week or next week. And that way we can get some roundy round. And then, like I said, I gotta do the swing bridge here on the entrance. So that's it for now. We'll see you guys in March. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them below in the comment section. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.